Well, hello everybody. It's that time of week again where we're doing our Friday Live with one of our favorite experts that we trust. So today we have Kenji Vendetta of Pillar to Post Home Inspections coming to us with some wonderful information about the services that he offers, about home inspections. And of course, you guys can chime in with any kind of comments and questions, and we'll be happy to answer them live for you right here and right now. So, Kenji, welcome. Welcome to the Friday Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's Happy Aloha Friday.
That it is.
So, Kenji, I'm gonna go ahead and put your website up here. So you're with Pillar to Post Home Inspections. Maybe you could tell our viewers what made you get into the home inspection business and why Pillar to Post.
All right. So I got into it through a family friend. He was needing a little bit of help, and he
Mhm.
asked me to come on board. And he was like, "Hey, this may be something that might be interested. Give it a try." So I went with him on one job, and come to find out, I enjoyed it. Fell in love with it. I enjoy the aspect of showing people, teaching people, and just help educating people. It might not be, everybody needs to know how to maintain a house. Not everybody knows how to maintain a house, and I come in as like I want to be able to help them out so that they can prolong their houses and have enjoy it for while they are here. Um, so that's
So
kind
would
of
you
how
say
I got into it.
you're kind of like a house whisperer?
Yeah, somewhat of a house whisperer because there's things that I see that the natural, you know, a normal person might not be able to see. I just found that it was like one of those things where when I was younger, I moved around a lot and I would always new places. You kind of, flip the switches, test things out, see what do you like about the house, what works, what doesn't work. And that just came natural to me. So doing home inspection is one of those curiosity, like, does this work? Does that work? Oh, this
So,
doesn't work. So let's figure it out.
so Kenji, besides that, curiosity on how homes work, I know that Pillar to Post has some extensive training that they put you guys through. And not only have you done that training, but you're continuing to educate and become a resource for your realtor clients and for the homeowners. So maybe you could share a little bit about some of these certifications and trainings that you put yourself through.
All right. So when we first come out with Pillar to Post on, they
Mhm.
actually send you to Toronto, Canada for 2 week training course, and they literally throw everything at you within 2 weeks. Your classes start from 7 in the morning, and you're not back at the hotel by 6 o'clock at night. So we're there for 10, 11 hours a day, just getting crammed with information and how to become a proper home inspector, how to become a good home inspector. They teach us all the different aspects of the house, the foundations, the electrical, exterior, the roof coverings, the attic spaces. They break all the aspects down of a home so that it's easy for us to understand, easy for us to relate to the potential clients so that way they know the different aspects of their house. We are also ASHI members. So that
Mhm.
way, and
What
that's
is
where we get
ASHI? What does that stand for? What does that acronym stand for, Kenji?
actually as an associated society of home inspectors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's they're the biggest membership throughout North America, and a lot of the states that are governed or that have a regulating, overruling over home inspectors. That's one of the standards that they use is the actually home inspection standards.
Now, let me
Um,
ask a quick question. You said
yes.
some of the states that have, rulings over home inspectors. What's the laws here in Hawaii? What kind of regulations do we have here in Hawaii?
Hawaii is one of the states that is not governed
Oh,
by a center, by somebody to be able to oversee it.
mm-hmm.
However, it is best for your home inspectors to get certified, to get testings, to be able to show proof and go beyond that. Hey, I have this. I'm just not somebody's uncle that knows how to do a home. How to inspect a house with a paper report. No, there's actually courses that needs to be taken so that way they can become educated in the
Hmm.
process of being a home inspector.
So what kind of tools and like what are you looking for that would maybe differentiate you from someone who just has experiences with building a home? I know you guys have all sorts of different tools and reports and things that you look for that's a
All right.
little bit different. Share with us about that.
All right. So one thing that is pretty common to the eye is cracks in the walls or anything like that. So when you're walking through the house, you may be looking at the wall, how nice it is, how flat it is. I'm looking to see if there's any cracks or damages to the walls. Same with the foundation. When they walk around their house, they're just looking at the exterior to see if the exterior is in good condition or that looks pretty, that looks nice. When I'm
Hmm.
actually looking at the foundation of going, hey, that's an issue, this needs to be looked at. We need a second opinion on this. And I'll put that in a report. We also do what the naked eye can't see. And we have an infrared camera that scans for any discrepancies with temperature. So
Oh,
we'll open up the distribution panel, we'll and scan that to make sure that all the temperatures are, where they should be within range, safe ranges. And then we'll also do infrared scans of all the wet areas. For example, would be that's under the sinks, around the toilets, near the showers, just to make sure that there's no leaks coming from those areas. And when I do these scans, I also, if it's a two-story house, I'll do a scan where the bathrooms are, kind of find and kind of use common sense to see where the water lines are running, and I'll scan underneath the bathroom because a lot of times you can't see what's coming down until it's way too late. Then by then you're like, oh, we have a hole understanding because the toilet was leaking. With an
so
infrared camera, we were
so
able to
Kenji,
find that.
it sounds like you go really deep on these inspections. You got all the bells and whistles and all the different tools. Maybe you could share with our viewers a little like a success story, something where you had found something that has saved your client thousands of dollars, or maybe even just saved them from buying a home that was a little bit more than they were willing to jump into as far as repairs.
Okay. One story of that would be in Makakilo. So I always
Hmm.
know Makakilo is it's on a mountainside. This house had an extension built onto it. The contractors came out there. They found out that the wall was actually shifting, and there's cracks in the walls on the extension side. They had contractors come out there, and they say they reinforced the foundation of the wall when in reality all they reinforced was a decking prior to the home. It's right outside of the house. So when I looked underneath and I looked at this wall and the structure, if I wish I had the picture, I'd be able to show it to you. But
Hmm.
there is a 1 inch gap. There's a 1 inch level difference from where the deck is and where the actual house is. That 1 inch gap actually, now the deck is supported, but the extension is not supported. And the fault of error is where they put the support bar or support beams. They put the
Hmm.
support beams on the decking, not on the exterior wall. So now your deck is nice and secure. Your deck is not going anywhere. However, your extension is still moving. So
Oh,
that was one of those things where they had a contractor come in there. They thought they knew what they were doing properly. They thought they got it all done and squared away. When in reality, they didn't even put the support where it needed to be. And that's
so
where I come
so
in
what
as a
ended
home
up
inspector.
happening? Did they end up buying the home, or did they end up negotiating a credit, or did they end up fixing it? Like what was the outcome?
They ended up moving forward with the house because the buyers already, he was in a construction business already.
Okay.
So he knew that I have the resources to help fix this issue and it's not that bad of an issue. According to him, it wasn't that much of a deal, that big of a
For
deal,
him.
because the footing was already in place. The pylons were there, the whole structure to actual support it, it was all there. It just needed a little extra on the supporting where the exterior wall was. And that was, he was like, that's an easy fix. We can easily jack this up and put
So
what we need
let's
to.
back that up a little bit. Did you say that your client was in the construction industry, like that was he had experience with building homes and he hired you to do a home inspection?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's a really great compliment. You know,
Yes,
even
it is.
yeah. So he realized the value that you bring because you look at the home a little differently. as an inspector versus someone who's building, right? Like
Yes.
you have this trained eye to find these little things that could cause a future issue with the
Hmm.
home.
Yes.
That's I love that. That's a great testimonial and a success story. So we're talking a little bit about the inspection. So these are like what you like your typical bread and butter. You're doing the what we call for the J1 in our
Hmm.
Hawaii contract, the home buyer inspection. So you have a period that you've got to get this inspection done.
Yes.
So how long do these inspections take? How quickly can you get out to get these done? Because I know we're usually on a time limit.
Yes. It all depends on when they contact me. If they contact me ahead of time, when they know that they're getting accepted a day prior to that, we can normally get their home inspection done within the first 3 to 4 days of their J1 period. Um,
Nice.
so we're very flexible. We can, I do work, we work on the weekends. So that way, when your clients are available, if they work Monday to Friday, they're available on the weekends. I'll be more than happy to help them out because we all know Hawaii is expensive and every dollar counts. So why take a day off of work when you can kind of reschedule for the weekend?
So,
Um,
so speaking of every dollar counts and that people are on a budget, you've got these different packages that you offer based on that budget and how extensive of a inspection that the client wants, right?
yes, yes.
Talk a little bit about your different packages that you guys offer.
All right. So our plus package is a basic home inspection where we cover the entire house from the exterior to the interior. We're making sure all the different systems are functioning. We're making sure that all the water lines are good, the electrical is all operational. Um, Along with that is including that package is our next one will be the premium package. That includes a plus package plus infrared scans of the water areas and electrical box. It also includes a safety recall check for your clients, so that way all of your clients can be on the system, and if there's any issue, a red flag that comes up, they'll be able to notify it right away. Another thing that is a lifetime customer service with us for as long as they own the home. They got a question, they got a concern, reach out to me. Be more than happy to help them out. I noticed that a lot of agents don't really utilize that option. I've had clients, some agents utilize it like almost every week. They're like, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" And like, and we're talking about a client that I had a year ago, So those things they do come in handy. The
Mm-hmm.
prestige package is the most expensive package because it is more geared to the health aspect of the home. Um, so if a person has some form of asthma or they're allergic to some form of mold or something of that sort, we go in there, we do the necessary testing so that way they feel safe themselves. One instance would be I had a cancer patient. She went in ahead with the prestige because she bought a condo, wanted to make sure that there was no mold in there, wanted to make sure the condo was nice and dry, ready to move in, and just in safe for her and breathing environment. And checked out clean, everything like that.
So
So
she could move in with the peace of mind, knowing that she wasn't gonna be like triggered because of some mold or whatever
yes, yes.
Awesome. So now we've talked a little bit about, the certifications, the different types of inspections that you offer.
Hmm.
Now, you guys are known, I think, mostly for the home inspection for buyers. And you guys
Yes.
have kind of go outside the box and you offer some different types of inspections that we've been able to personally use in our business. Talk a little bit about the seller's pre-listing inspection and maybe like a success story or just anything you want to share on this type of inspection.
All right. So a pre-listing inspection is pretty much the same as a J1. The difference is for the sellers.
Mm-hmm.
We go in there, we address everything, we indicate everything that's wrong with the house, so that way they can take care of it ahead of time. One example would be a house in Sea Country that I did. So the client, they're moving off the island. They wanted me to do the pre-listing inspection because we're right in the neighborhood. So we
Mm-hmm.
did the pre-listing inspections. 4 months later, I went back out to the same property. I'm not going to use the pre-listing inspection as grounds of, hey, I did this house already. Let's go ahead and just give the sellers or the new buyers a new report. I actually went back in there and did a home inspection on it. I knew everything was, made it a lot easier, which normally would take a single family home 3 hours. Probably took me about 2 hours to do. And then I brought up the old stuff, the old report, and I compared and contrasted to see what was found. And comes to find out, the seller took care of everything that was on that listed on that first report. And when I actually spoke with the buyers, I told them your house is in good condition. Here's a previous inspection. Here's a current inspection. And yeah, your house is really moving ready to go. So that's the benefit of having a pre-listing inspection.
So the owners or the sellers typically will use it as kind of like a checklist.
Yes.
And they can feel confident bringing the home on the market, knowing that, hey, they're not going to be surprised by something in the home inspection.
Yes.
Taking away some of that stress of that J1 period.
Yes, it does, especially when you know what the issues are. And if the seller is willing to take care of them, yeah, that's great. If they're not willing to take care of them, now they can make an adjustment on their pricing, or they can say,
or something. It's
exactly.
Open conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. And we've used that several times, and our sellers love it too, because it can be kind of stressful going through the process and wondering what's going to come back on the inspection. And yeah, I mean, it puts the buyers, like, you can even share it with the buyers and create a peace of mind, knowing that, yeah, they can still do their inspection, but they're not going to find much, or here's the things that we found and the seller has taken care of all of them. So yeah, it is an effective strategy to use. So one more type of inspection that you guys have started doing, which I think it's wonderful, is property management inspection. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the property management inspection is for those tenants and for the owners of the home, where we go in, we take a snapshot of the home as of today. So that way they have a good idea of the condition of the house it is. I understand that as being a tenant, you're responsible for the interior of the house. You're responsible for the damages that you do cause. That's why the deposit is there. At the end of the day, when they move out and there's all these damages that are there, and they still want their deposit back as a tenant, now the homeowner is able to hire me and go out there and be like, hey, that's not the same condition that we found it in during your move-in. These are the issues that needs to be addressed. Now you can have to pay
the
for
property condition. So the property condition form, and
yes,
having a very thorough documentation of what the property condition is prior to the tenant moving in, and then comparing once they move out.
Yes, and having a third-party snapshot of that, now you draw the lines of liability of who's responsible for what. Because first of all, they accepted the conditions of the house as when they moved in. They left the house in either better or worse condition when they moved out. Now we go in there and do that inspection, and now you got third-party analysis on the whole thing, and now you're like, all right, we're either giving your deposit back or we're not going to give your deposit back.
I love that, how it's like you're like a neutral third party.
Yes.
Because as you may or may not be aware, the property management, I think that has the most liability, the most amount of, lawsuits.
Yes.
And if you can remove that and just create that third party, that neutral third party, to create the property condition check-in and then the check-out, a lot of these disagreements and adversarial situations can be avoided just by utilizing this property management inspection service.
Yes, that is correct. That's where we want to make it easier for your property managers to be, hey, this is the condition of the house prior to you moving in, after you move in. Here's straightforward, And
it's from a professional property inspector who has nothing to do to gain or to lose by what's in that report.
Yes.
And it's just, it's black and white.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think that it's definitely a needed service, because, I mean, we always hear these nightmares of the damage or spare, but you're that neutral third party that can confirm or deny that it's not in the same condition, and this is neglect by the tenant, or this is neglect by the homeowner. Like, this should have been cared for. Property owner should have been maintaining this, so the tenant should not be charged. So I think that it's, definitely a great service. Now, yeah, I think we've covered a lot. Is there anything that we should have covered that we didn't today during our Friday live session, Kenji?
No, that's pretty much all of it. I do want to give a little tidbit about our safety recall check that we do use. It's called Centric, CENTRIQ. Centric. It's basically it's a it's a program where you take a picture of all your appliances. You can even install your car. You can put the VIN number of your car, and it'll give you the user manuals. It'll give you updates on literally everything within your home. It'll actually tell you the age of the unit. It will tell you what kind of safety recall stuff is out there. So it's the app that we pay for to give to our clients. But as agents,
so kind of like a thank you.
Yeah,
for you utilizing your service. So
yes,
you're making their life easier by paying for this Centric app, and they can just everything can be on there.
Everything can be on there. I've had clients tell me that they put their cars on there, and actually their user manuals was up on there, their recalls was on there, and they were like, it works. It covers a very broad array of items. So that's what we use. I know a small little tidbit on it, but I just wanted our clients to know and our agents to know that, hey, it's a free app. You technically don't have to pay for it, but for our services to them, we actually give them a 1 year service for it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do a lot for your clients, and you always come from contribution. And we always love it when you call into our radio show with your tip of the week, with some different home maintenance or different issues that you're seeing as you're going through the many, many houses that you walk through on a weekly basis.
Yes.
So I definitely appreciate your your partnership and your time today, Kenji. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, and thank you all who have come in and out and have made comments and listened in to a little bit about Kenji Vendetta and Pillar to Post. Let me get the phone number so you can give Kenji a call directly and schedule any of your home inspection needs, for if you're thinking about getting your home on the market, or you're a buyer, or even for property management. So that's the best number to reach him at. And the website. So give Kenji a call.
Thank you.
Kenji. Aloha.
Thank you. Bye.